my speech class for professionalism and business development. And this is a quick speech about informative speech, about situations that are going on here in the world. My speech is basically why do people become homeless, which is a big rising issue, especially something to think about in the unemployment bill as working here at Texas workforce. That's a big issue that leads to poverty. So I got a couple visual aids. One of the ones I have here is what's the difference between a prisoner of war and a homeless person? Anybody think? So if you got a prisoner of war and you got a homeless person, what do you think is the main difference between them? And unfortunately, the difference under the Geneva Convention Code, a prisoner of war is entitled to food, shelter, and Medicare. But what is homeless people entitled to? Certain criteria have to be met through government agencies. Homeless rate has been rising tremendously. This year alone, it's risen 3 times within 6 months because of the unemployment, because of all the cuts from the DOD, cuts from the government funding, cuts for TANF, cuts for SNAP. People pretty much have to prove that they are homeless on the streets to even get any assistance from government. At that, government is limited to each state, and considering also nonprofit organizations and coalitions, they have a lot of things out there that people don't know about, but unfortunately, you either make too much or don't make enough. And that's what a lot of people are, including myself. I was homeless on the streets myself, so I can tell you it's hard. You have shelters, you have things, but even those, they're not safe for security. Another little thing I have here is homelessness. It makes you sick. It not only makes you sick physically, not only makes you sick to see that when you walk around and you see veterans or parents who have tried and give up their all through bankruptcy, everything to be sick, but also makes you mentally sick. And there's not enough programs that will cover that. Once you become mentally ill, like schizophrenic or bipolar, a lot of people don't even want to work with you or deal with you. Unfortunately, those are the main ones that stay on the street and never get help, including drug-addicted people in and out of rehabs. Once it happens, it happens. Another thing is, I thought this was kind of particular. It says white people, black people, Mexican people, and homeless people. The difference? Nothing. It doesn't matter what race, what background, if you're an immigrant, legal or not. You're homeless, you're homeless. People come.
Like that the world actually puts people in those different categories.
Exactly, and that's what they do. If you see a lot of places now when you apply for employment, it asks you what's your category, race, and some people deny. 9 out of 10 times I'm mixed. I deny. But unfortunately, they're doing that because they're trying to see a statistic of how many people are unemployed, how many people are heading to homelessness, how many people are heading to poverty. Is it males, females? Is it certain groups because of bilingual? Is it illegal immigrants? So it doesn't really matter what race you are. It doesn't matter if you came here and had a business. It doesn't matter if you came here and you're an entrepreneur. It doesn't matter if you came from a poverty background as myself. It's happening everywhere. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't discriminate your race, age, sex, gender, sexual orientation. It doesn't discriminate. Homelessness is homelessness, and it's happening way too much. You see streets in Killeen here. You have lots of veterans that are homeless. And these shelters here at VA, they don't even have enough room for these people. Or they're limited onto how many people they can help and what they can do, especially if you have children or families. That's why you see so much here begging on the corners. Another thing is, this is a graph. I want you to look at this. This was in August of, from there to present. Do you see how much it grown? In a leap. And this is just month by month by month because of all the cut downs, because of all the government stimulations and stimulus packages. Homelessness is happening everywhere. It's a crisis that's everywhere. Not enough nonprofit organizations, churches, FEMA, anyone is getting help. People are losing through natural disasters, they're losing through bankruptcies, they're losing from addictions, not making enough money. The minimum wage is $7.25 in Texas. $7.25. I don't know about you, but $7.25 don't cut it for me. Even if I was a single parent, which I'm not. And I'm a dual military ex-family, and it's still not cutting it. Like I said, it just affects everybody. When I was growing up in Los Angeles, California, we had a famous thing called Skid Row. I don't know if everyone had heard of that. And when I would act like I was a spoiled brat, my family would take me there and show us kids, this is what we could have. Unfortunately, that thing has grown tremendously. And I used to help with volunteer programs, and it's ridiculous on how hard it is just to get people to help. Materials, supplies, anything, and sometimes you can't even help because you don't have it. And that's what's leading to the #1 homeless problem. People don't have it. Are people, sometimes we are our own worst enemy though. We live beyond our means. We try to catch up with the Joneses. We have to have this, we have to have that. But sometimes society, that's what it's come to. Just an example, you can't even watch regular TV now without cable.
Or I was talking to a friend yesterday actually, and we were talking about how, like, if you don't have things as a kid, like you try to spend all your money on the things that you want now. And that's because, like, income tax money, like I spent all my income tax money on shopping and food and renting cars and all that. And now I have like $100 to my name.
And
It's weird how fast your money can go, and then you have nothing to show for it.
And unfortunately, that's when your loans come in, and your paydays come in, your advances, and another one, and another one. And banks turn you down, and you go for this, and you go for whatever APR, and then before you know it, your debt to ratio is higher than it can be. And what does that lead to next? Things get cut off. Before you know it, you lose the necessities of life, and you end up on the streets. Like I said, they do have government programs. There's a national, there's a main one from Washington D.C. called the Interagency Council of Homelessness. It's an overall program. They do help you with the HUD. They do help with stuff. Like I said, they are limited. They can only give so many funding to each state. This is an overall program brought to D.C. and it's actually, they're trying to have funding right now more for it because the homelessness rate is going up. That creates more disease, more famine, more poverty, more domestic violence, more crime. Because if you can't get what you need, you're going to steal it. And you're going to create crime. And that's going to bring up. That's why a lot of the police departments are hiring right now too. In certain rural areas like Detroit, Los Angeles, certain places in Chicago. More of those areas that are prone to any violence and disaster. And it's just getting rising. I mean, it's ridiculous. Like I said, the diseases alone, majority of people on the streets have HIV, have immunity diseases because they don't have that. Even free clinics. I went to a free clinic here when I first came. I didn't know I had veteran benefits, and we stood in line for 3 hours. 3 hours, and didn't get seen. And it's one clinic for the whole city. And look how many people are here. That's how bad poverty is getting. It's getting to the point where you're going to have to decide if you want your electricity or money on your table for food. It's getting to the point where you want clothes on your back, or you can't even afford childcare. You can't get a job because you can't afford childcare. And the programs can only help with it so much. So much. Some of us, I know I'm not from here and I don't have family, but even with family, sometimes they can't even help because they're going for their own. One joke we always make is saying one day it's going to come to everybody living in the same house, whoever owns a house. And that's what America's coming down to. Poverty is an issue and it's real. And it leads to homelessness, it leads to crime, it leads to disease. And if people don't lend a helping hand to help their fellow Americans, no matter in any way you can, it will destroy America. It will rise. And it will cause more conflicts, and it will cause more spread of disease, and it will cause people to act so. So basically, be aware. Go to your websites. Be aware of poverty. Go to see if you can do any funds, nonprofit, churches, organizations, government. Use what you can. And when you know something, network. Tell people. There's Facebook. There's Twitter. There's other people there. There are so many programs that people don't even know about, and the government is not willing to tell you if they can save their dollars. And when you get denied, just keep trying again. The worst they can ever tell you is no. Because otherwise, those shelters are going to end up with a lot of us and more in there. I guarantee you at least 2 people out of 10 people will end up in a homeless shelter by next year. Because of the poverty rate, because of the job rate, because the medical costs, even with the spending bill, there is still because of anything. So in conclusion, I just wanted to tell you that even with, like I said, even with these poverty, even with the coalitions, or even with the private organizations, the best help is us, period. Best help is saying, I've been there, or I have a family member, or I don't want to be there, I want to see one else there. The best help is us. Whatever you can do. You can't donate time, money, material, spending, whatever you can do. That's the best help, and that's the only way that us as a society are going to get through it. Because homelessness is real, and it's not going away. It's not going to go away. Thank you very much.